I am going to allow Sonny Haas to begin, and your opening statement should be about 2 minutes, please.
Thank you, and good evening, folks, and thanks for tuning in. I'm a lifelong resident of Southwest Florida. I'm a single parent, 3 girls, Kristen, retired firefighter, 28 years in Norfolk Myers Fire Control District, 4 years on the Lehigh Acres Fire Commission Board. That's when I really took notice with the X's and O's of being a commissioner and community involvement. My passion for running for Lee County Commission, it's gone on for 6 years now. I feel it's what my opponent has not done, especially for my community of Lehigh Acres. 131 square miles, it's actually bigger than the city of Jacksonville and bigger than the city of Cape Coral. And we've lost all of our property value. And look at what has happened to it. I believe it's time for Lehigh Acres to have their own county commissioner sitting on the board so we can represent Eastern Lee County and also not only have a presence on the ground, but to take care of Lee County as well.
All right, and for folks at home, I forgot to do this, but I wanted to say Sonny Haas is a lifelong resident of Southwest Florida, as he said. He's a retired firefighter after working there for 28 years, and he is currently a roofer. Frank Mann is also a lifelong resident of Lee County. He previously served in Florida's House of Representatives for 8 years and the Senate for 4 years, and he is currently a county commissioner. He has been serving for 6 years. Frank?
Thank you, Mike, very much, and thank you, Mr. Thomas, for making this forum available to the citizens of Lee County. And good evening, my fellow citizens. I am Frank Mann. It has been my privilege and good fortune, as it has been Sonny's, to have been born in Lee County and lived here my entire life, except for the time I was away in college. I was able to watch the dynamics of this very exciting county, because there were probably around 25,000 people here when I was born. There's upwards of 600. We're pushing 650,000 now. It's been a challenging time, but also an economically very good time to be in this part of the world, because it gave everyone a great opportunity economically to do well in a fast growth economy. That is up until 5 years ago when the bubble burst, and the challenges we've seen here are unlike any that this government and most governments have ever experienced. And during those challenging times, we were able to cut county spending dramatically. I'm sure we'll get into that as we get into the questions here. But it's my honor to have served in various public offices in the past, and I hope to be able to serve the good people of Lee County in the next 4 years as well. Thank you.
Okay, now it's time for our panel to ask questions. We are going to begin with Chico Rivera. I'd ask that each one of you introduce yourself and go ahead with your question, and then we'll have 2 minutes, 1 or 2 minutes. 1 minute to answer the question. If you need a little more time, that's fine.
Thank you. Welcome, candidates. My name is Chico Rivera. I'm an over 35-year resident of Southwest Florida, very active in the community, founder of the Southwest Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, private entrepreneur, businessman, and very active in many nonprofit organizations and in committees. I'll start out with my first question. We've got quite seasoned candidates up there. Lehigh has changed, has become, and I'm going to address Lehigh being it's the biggest section, biggest area in your district. Lehigh is very important to Southwest Florida. It's become a strong labor force to Southwest Florida, but it's become a very diverse community. How do you, being seasoned professionals in this area, plan on handling the economic development in Lehigh, if any? How would you bring economic development to Lehigh?
Let's begin with Frank.
In the next 4 years.
Economic development is critically important in Lehigh, as it is in all parts of Lee County, particularly now during this recession. That's an excellent question, incidentally, Chico. One of the great challenges always here is how do we diversify our economy and how do we get it lit back on fire and restart our economic engine? There are no simple answers, but there are certain things we must do. First off, in Lehigh, when the recession hit, there was devastation in terms of the housing market, where it had been the hottest market momentarily. Suddenly, there were nothing but half-finished houses, decaying, being vandalized, and all that sort of thing. We cleaned up the community substantially, and where there were thousands of repossessed homes, we've got that down to a few hundreds now, and the vandalism has just about disappeared. So when you bring somebody in, you've got a community that looks alive and healthy. Crime is down. The sheriff has worked hard with us, and we've made certain his budget was adequate to deal with those issues. I'm sorry we've held ourselves to a minute here because it's such a very good question. But essentially, we've cleaned up the community. It's looking great. They've got an active economic development board there now that is functioning better than it has since it was born 2 years ago. And I look forward to continuing to work with those folks.
Thanks. Sonny?
Thank you. It's a good question, Mr. Rivera. First order of business for me, as I've been a resident there over 28 years, State Road 82 from Columbus to Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard must be for the 6th lane immediately. That State Road 82 is our Pine Island Road. Lee Boulevard is our Del Prado. We need to clean the blight in the small single-family homes that ended up on Lee Boulevard and bulldoze them. We need to use, they embrace the Obama stimulus package for buying these foreclosed homes and flipping them. We need to do everything we can, even if it's declare eminent domain on those single-family homes on Lee Boulevard. We want Dr. Kagan and these doctors' offices to be right down there with tile roofs and good growth. That it is and was planned for, and in my vision will always be the greatest bedroom community Lee County ever had. And that's what it is. And you can't rechange the dynamics of Lehigh and cobblestone and make a new city hall. You've got to keep it a bedroom community. You've got to get it where people can get in and out of there and go to work. I'm also open-minded to opening up the mining corridor right along 82. For example, Troyer Brothers and 6Ls and such. You don't go into the DRGR, but there's $500 million worth of lime rock in the DRGR, and especially in that area right along 82. That's an industry unto itself that can immediately open up. I'm also open-minded and passionate about allowing a voter-approved destination resort to go in where Champions Development wants to put that. 4,000 jobs, 2,000 jobs building the entire complex, 4,000 jobs for the rest of our lives that are desperately needed. And it will open up a secondary market of houses. We want realtors to manage the houses with the swimming pools. We want a secondary market in Lehigh again, where people will want to come to that destination resort, they'll want to come to our beaches, and they'll rent those homes. Thank you.